Let's go. Did I ever tell you that your ass is a wonderland?
Hey, don't you know what to touch me?
You apologize to the lady.
I'm sorry.
The story opens with John Brickner, recently released from prison after serving 4 years for a past murder, shortened from a 7-year sentence. After his release, John is determined to make amends and build a new life.
Brickner.
Seeking a fresh start, he moves to Seattle and takes a construction job. One night, on his way to a bar, he sees 3 men harassing a waitress named Frankie. John stepped in, grabbed one of the harassers, and made him apologize to Frankie.
You apologize to the lady.
I'm sorry.
Intimidated by John's strength, the men fled. Witnessing the event, the bar owner offered John a job as a security guard. He accepted, juggling construction work by day and bar security by night. The next day, John began his job as a bar security guard. When 2 drunk patrons caused trouble, he stepped in and forced them out. Watching from afar, Frankie's boyfriend, Reno Paul Saint, was impressed. Impressed by John's abilities, Reno suggested a different job opportunity.
I saw call me. He knew I could make some money. Maybe we could make some real money.
John politely declined Reno's offer, already juggling 2 jobs. One day after work, he was approached by Veronica, the widow of the man he had killed.
John Brickner.
She was the one who petitioned for his early release, but it came with a price. She demanded he raise $250,000 to pay for her daughter's life-saving heart surgery.
Yeah, John. Got your letters. My husband would still be alive. And if it wasn't for me, you'd still be behind bars.
Thank you.
I didn't do it out of the goodness of my heart. I have another selfish reason. My daughter Sarah is 8 years old, and she probably won't make it to 9 because she needs a heart transplant.
I'm truly sorry.
I don't want your sympathy, John. You are going to save my baby's life.
How?
It costs $250,000, and that is money I don't have.
Determined to make amends, John decided to help Veronica. But after checking his savings, he realized he was far from the amount needed. Desperate, he turned to Frankie.
Hey, can I ask you a question? That guy that offered me the job the other night, you know him?
Yeah, Reno.
You know where I can find him?
Call. Hey, boys. Looking for me?
Yeah.
Were you serious about that job?
Come on, I'll show you.
Reno brought John to a hidden, crowded building. Inside was a roaring underground fight arena.
He's a friend of mine. His name's Timmons. He represents the holy grail of underground fighting. His manager is this guy named Sharp. What, are you afraid of that guy?
Not interested.
Hey,
And all I gotta do is whip that guy down there.
look, you know how much money you can make beating that guy down there? 6 figures, 1 fight.
Not interested.
Though tempted by the prize money, John, still on parole, firmly refused despite Reno's pressure. The next day, he went to Veronica's house to apologize for not being able to help. Hearing John's apology, Veronica reminded him of the promise he had made in prison to do anything to atone for his crime. Her raised voice drew the attention of her sickly daughter, Sarah, who weakly emerged from her room. One look at Sarah's fragile state filled John with sorrow and guilt. Overwhelmed, he gave his word he would do whatever it took to raise the money for her treatment. The next morning at the construction site, John was unexpectedly fired over a minor mistake. But soon after, his boss collapsed from a heart attack right in front of him. Acting quickly, John performed first aid and saved his life. That night, curious and conflicted, John returned to the arena. He found Reno and Frankie watching a brutal match, which ended with Reno's fighter severely injured and rushed off for emergency treatment. After the doctor ruled Reno's fighter unfit to compete in the next round,
Hey, Reno, we got a fight or what?
Okay, don't worry about it.
You got 5 minutes.
All right, you ready?
Good as new.
Stand up. Ready?
You got time for me now?
John stepped up and volunteered to take his place. Just before the match began, Mr. Wolf arrived, demanding repayment from Reno. Reno assured him the debt would be settled after the fight. Once the match started, John and his opponent traded powerful blows, igniting the crowd with excitement as the intense first round came to a close. In the next round, weapons were permitted, and John's opponent wasted no time grabbing a steel rod to strike. Despite taking hits, John held his ground and ultimately overpowered his opponent using only his bare hands, earning a stunning victory. Back in the locker room, Reno gave him the prize money, but John chose to share some of it with the injured fighter he had replaced. A few days later, after his morning run, John was surprised to see Reno and Frankie waiting for him. Reno encouraged John to enter another fight, pointing out the money still on the table. After some thought, John agreed. To make training and fighting easier, Reno even invited him to move in. Before the next match, they met with Deacon, the referee, at a restaurant to discuss the fight's conditions. During their talk, Reno confessed he was bankrupt and couldn't afford to place a big bet. Another obstacle was John's unresolved parole status, but after a tense discussion, he convinced Deacon to let him fight. Desperate for funds, Reno pawned a prized heirloom ring from his father, a legendary fighter, as collateral for the match. Later, Reno brought John to meet a man named Nestor, but things took a dark turn when Nestor, furious over unpaid debts, ordered his men to kill Reno. John quickly stepped in, stopping Nestor's men before they could act. He boldly offered a deal. If he won a fight, Nestor would let Reno go. If he lost, he'd take on Reno's debt himself. Nestor accepted, and the 10-minute, $10,000 match began. John dominated the fight, delivering brutal blows that left his opponents unable to continue. Jones' opponent was quickly knocked out, securing Jones' victory. He and Reno left the area immediately. On the way home, John received a call from Veronica. Her daughter, Sarah, had collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. At Sarah's bedside, John grew anxious, seeing the frail girl, and vowed to do whatever it took to get her the surgery she needed. Later, after leaving her room, he accidentally overheard a conversation between Reno and Frankie in the living room. Frankie confronted Reno, accusing him of using John to settle his debts, but Reno denied it, claiming John was just an ex-con and not as noble as Frankie believed. He even suggested Frankie had feelings for Joan. Their argument was cut short when John unexpectedly entered the room. That night, as John got ready for another fight, Reno apologized for what he had said. Despite winning match after match, John still hadn't earned enough to qualify for a shot at the reigning champion. As John's reputation grew, fear spread among other fighters, leading to multiple canceled matches. Reno, unfazed, assured John he'd find someone willing to face him. One evening at the bar, John spotted two men watching him from a car. They were bodyguards of Veltz, a mob boss Reno owed money to. While Reno was off gambling, Veltz's men confronted him, and Reno desperately pleaded for more time to repay the debt. Veltz's men gave Reno 1 week to repay the debt, or Frankie would suffer the consequences. That night, Joan faced a fierce Mexican fighter in a brutal match.
Let's get this over.
Yeah, and then... Let's go. You bitch.
Hey, Jones, John.
You've had all you
but emerged victorious with an impressive performance. Afterward, Reno, and Frankie went to a bar to celebrate. Over drinks, Joan questioned why Reno hadn't planned his fights more strategically. Reno explained that as Joan's fame grew, so did the betting stakes, leaving them no choice but to keep fighting to cover rising costs. Soon after, John got a call from Veronica and rushed to her house with Frankie. There, he found her unconscious beside a letter revealing that Sarah's organ donation had been canceled, driving her to despair. Wasting no time, John took Veronica to the hospital. While waiting, he opened up to Frankie about why he chose to enter the underground fights. All Joan ever wanted was to save the daughter of the man he had once accidentally killed. When he heard Veronica had regained consciousness, he rushed to see her and explained he was fighting to raise money for Sarah's surgery. Meanwhile, Reno went to reclaim his father's ring from the pawn shop, only to find it had already been sold for a higher price. Enraged but helpless, he realized it was too late to get it back. One night, John faced off against Nestor's men once more. Afterward, Reno and Nestor arranged a match with a $150,000 wager on each side. Joan requested that Nestor's men surrender, but Nestor refused, insisting the fight must go on. Concerned he might accidentally kill his opponent, Joan chose to quit, resulting in Nestor's victory. Meanwhile, Veltz's men found Reno and brutally beat him for his delayed repayment. The next day, Veltz's men followed John again and forced him to come with them to a lavish house. There, Joan met Veltz, who revealed himself as the father-in-law of Joan's boss at the construction site. Grateful for John saving his son-in-law during a heart attack, Veltz promised to grant him any request. John then made two demands, starting with $150,000 for Sarah's heart surgery. Joan's second request was for Veltz to pay off all of Reno's debts. However, Veltz agreed to fulfill only one request, leaving the decision to Joan. Joan chose to clear Reno's debts. After the meeting, Joan decided to part ways with Reno and Frankie, intending to leave Reno's house. Reno, grateful for Joan's help, thanked him for freeing him from the weight of his debts. Soon after, Reno received a call about a bet placed for John to fight the reigning champion, Sharp. That night, Joan entered the arena to face the formidable opponent. As the match began, John raised his hand, and the crowd erupted in applause, with music filling the air. Meanwhile, Veronica rushed through the hospital, discovering that Sarah's surgery fees had been paid. Joan soon arrived to offer his support, and Veronica, deeply grateful, thanked him. Later, Reno and Frankie joined them, and John returned the rings he had bought from the pawn shop. Reno expressed his heartfelt thanks for Joan's help throughout the ordeal.